morning is being one with God. Being one with God, not two, but then one with God. Becoming one with God. I did not understand when Jesus was on the cross and he cried, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. I did not understand that. Why? Because now, oh God, why are you saying God is leaving you? What are you saying here? There are two cases where you see him being two people. That's there on the cross. And again, that's in the Garden of Gethsemane. Before he's crucified, he comes out of the will of the Father. All this time he was one with God. Then he comes out and he says, let this cup pass me by. But then, I think then he wash up, but then let your will be done. He comes back and then becoming one with God. I want us to read Isaiah chapter number 9, verse 6. Isaiah chapter number 9, verse 6. The prophet says, for unto us a child is born, underline those three words, child is born. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. Underline those three. Child is born, son is given. And the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Unto us what? The child is born, the son is given. The child is born and the son is given. Philip asked Jesus one time, oh Lord, show us the Father. I want to see God, show us the Father. And Jesus said, Philip, God, how long should I be with you? If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Because I'm the Father. If you've seen me, you see him. You've seen him. When you see me, you have seen him. Because I and the Father are one. Paul got that. He ended saying, it is no longer I who lives. Christ lives in me. I'm dead. He lives. I want this to be a message of your life, to become one with God. To become one, not two, but then one with God. And when you become one, it means you die. One must die. Because two can't live. One must die, the other must live. One must die, and then the other must live. We live through his death. We live through his death. The problem with the world, the problem of the world, led God to come down to solve the problem. When he came down, God is from above. He's holy and pure, and then he cannot die. Because the solution to the problem was that let him die, let him pay death what is due. Let God die on behalf of men so that men can live. But then when God came down, God was pure and holy. Then death has nothing on God. Death has no case against God. Then God was like, okay, let me take their sin and put it on me as a mask, and then so that I can deceive them. And that happened. So when death saw Jesus, death was deceived. And death saw him as just another man who was full of sin. And then death went for him. And when death struck Jesus, death made a mistake. Because death had only one sting. Like a bee that stings only once. Death could only sting once. Something can never die twice. You only die once. Oh. So then death made a mistake and went for God. He thought that he was just a mere mortal, and he struck him. When he struck him, he struck the main part of him, and then the God part descended over to the deeper parts of hell. Yeah. When he got there, then death realized that this was not just man, he is the God man. He went in and took away the keys of death. Yeah. He took the sting of death. And he also took the sting, like the key of the grave. Then death tried to hold him. It could not. He got up. And when he got up, to show that he was God, they say that his death was proof that he was man. And when he is resurrected, that was evidence that he is God. When he got up, not only did he rise, but the Bible says that everybody who was dead, from the time of Jesus to the times of Abraham, they rose from the dead and they started walking the streets. Oh. Hey. The sting of death was lost. Everybody was just coming out of the grave. Death couldn't hold them because death had one sting and death spent its sting. He took our place there on the cross. He died so that we could live. He was one. I said when he was on the cross and he cried, Elohi, Elohi, lama sabachthani. God was speaking because now man, he had sinned. Then God left him. God left him. Isaiah says the child is born and the son is given. The child is born. The son is given. John 3:16. God loved the world. He gave a son. The son is from above. He appeared during the fire. You remember? Nebuchadnezzar saying, the fourth one looks like the Son of God. He was there in the beginning. So then Isaiah says, the son is given. God has given a son. And also, not only that, but then also a child is born. Mary gives birth to a child. So then it means there are two people. There's a child and then there's a son. So then in that whole equation, God's worry was not a witch. God was not worried about the devil. The only concern with God was the child itself. Because the only person who had the power to stop the operation of God was the child. Just like with you today. God's concern is not a witch around your life. God is not worried about the devil. The only concern here, God, is the child in you. Jesus died so we could live. He ascended. Then he gave us his spirit. He gave us his spirit. Then his spirit came to live in us. So then now when the Spirit comes to live, remember when there is life, there has to be death. So then when for the Holy Spirit to live in us, which is the Spirit of Christ, then it means one must die, like I said. You have to die. The child in you has to die so that the Son, the Christ in you can live. Jesus is the boy. Christ is the Son.
Thank you. Amen.
So the war was between the Son and the child. God was worried about the child. If the child goes out of the way, he has messed my operation. So all your life you've been told to look outside. We're fighting witches. We're thinking more the problem is gay. Satan is not a doctrinal law. But it's most part of the they've put this thing, they've put this. So then he makes you inside. You are the problem. God is only concerned with you because if you can become one with God, nothing else matters that is outside. That's why Jesus said, you will pick up the snakes, they will not harm you. You will eat the poison. Nothing that happens outside should concern you. Look within. Look within you.
Oh, yes.
You are the enemy of God.
Sure. Help us.
You are the enemy. Unless you become one, you are the enemy. So the Bible says when you become a friend with the world, then you are an enemy of God. You have to be one. Not two, one. You die, then he lives. You die, then he lives. That's how it should be. Give up your ideas. Your way of doing things, give those things up so that he can live with his way of doing things. And he can rise with his ideas. Give up yours. You must die.
Yeah.
You must die. And because once you are dead, you are dead. You can't die twice. Nothing dies twice. I say God was angry with Moses. When they were thirsty in the wilderness, God tells Moses to strike the rock. And then water will come out. That was a picture of Jesus, which is the rock. And then the smiting of the rock was a prophetic utterance of crucifixion. That he's going to be beaten, he's going to be crucified. And when he's crucified, water will come out of him. And the water is a symbol of the Spirit of the Lord, the Holy Spirit, the life of God. Yeah. So then God tells him that. Then he does that the first time. Then water comes out. And the second time, the people got Moses angry. Then Moses goes to the rock. God says, no, don't smite the rock this time. Speak to the rock. Because now Jesus can only be crucified once. Moses is angry. He gets there and he beats the rock again. God was angry, said, you're not going to see Canaan. Because what you're doing is impossible. What is dead can never die twice. And so then I tell you that once you die, you must remain dead. And once you get to the ghost level, that's when you become unstoppable. Because you are numb to pain. I want to tell you, Tiba, pain is holding some people back. They are afraid of preaching more publicly. They are afraid of doing some things for God because of they're still alive. But then until you die, we're not an enemy of God. You have to die. And he has to live. You have to die. And he has to live. Let's stand on our feet. You You have to die, and he has to leave. Die and become numb to anything. Then you become unstoppable. You are now a spirit, you are a ghost. Jesus said to Nicodemus, anybody who's born of the spirit, they're like the wind. You don't know where they are coming from, and you don't know where they are going. You can't figure these people out. They are unstoppable. They pass through walls. They do everything. You cannot do anything about them because they are ghosts. You can't arrest them. They are ghosts. How many times have they seized Paul and said, tomorrow when they woke up, the prison doors are open. The ghosts are gone. You can't arrest the ghost. As long as you are responsive and reactive to whatever that's happening in the environment, it's a sign that you're still alive.